I went for a run this morning, which was good because I didn't know if I would be able to, and I ended up doing 5 kilometers, so that's nice. I have all the information over on my running videos, which will happen either before or after you see this. But I knew I had a really sort of lazy morning. I woke up multiple times, but ended up waking up at 10. I was exhausted. I think I went to bed just after midnight, and I really needed to sleep. I was so tired. And when I woke up at 10, I was like, oh, that's all right. I can eat now and then leave probably, just after 11, be back before 12. Fantastic. Somehow that first hour, I don't know what happened, but the time passed and it was suddenly 10 to 11 and I hadn't had breakfast. So I had some breakfast and then waited an hour before going for the run, went for a half-hour run, had a shower, did all the stuff. But I knew I had a call at 2 o'clock for this new job thing I've applied for. I think I mentioned it very briefly in a video before Christmas. And I hadn't received any information about how they were going to call me. So I knew it was at 2 o'clock. So at 20 to 2, I sent an email to say, am I going to get a Zoom link or what's going to happen? Didn't hear anything back. And I was kind of sat here like, oh, I don't love this. I don't love not having a confirmation that they're definitely going to call me at 2. I don't love that I'm sort of waiting around and I don't even know for what. Like, I just didn't know. And they did tell me it was going to be a short call, but I didn't know like what that meant. And all they said was they needed to verify me, that I am who I say I am. But I was just, I don't know, it felt weird. And then at 1 minute past 2, I had a regular phone call from the company. So I was like, okay, at least they're reasonably timely. I'm not having to wait till 5 past or 10 past. And they said, we normally do this by WhatsApp. Do you have WhatsApp? And I said, yes. And then they said, okay, just give us a few minutes. We need to set it up and then we'll call you. And then they called me and I think that was probably a minute long, maybe 2. I wonder if I can check it. The call was 1 minute 35 seconds. That was it. So when they said a short call, I thought, maybe 5-10 minutes just to make sure that everything I've said is true and that I am who I say I am and everything. Because so far, everything's been digital. Like all the correspondence has been via email. So yeah, that was a lot shorter than I was expecting, which I'm quite pleased about, to be honest. I'm glad that it was timely and that it's done. I'm now going to have some lunch, and it means that I've got more or less 2 hours until I need to go to tutoring, which is awesome because I thought I'd have like an hour and then that would be it. I made a long list of stuff I need to do today or tomorrow. I've got most of tomorrow off. I think I mentioned that already. And it's a really long list, but actually each item on that list will take no more than 5 minutes, probably 2 minutes for most of them. So once I've had some lunch, I'm just going to crack on with those things. One of them I'm going to wait till I finish tutoring because it's shopping and I'm going to just do that on my way back from tutoring. I kind of need to think about food as well because I've finally used up all the food I made on that Wednesday night last week, which I was frustrated at the time. It took 2 hours. I didn't have a can opener. I've now borrowed one from my grandma, which is great. But actually, that dish was so good and lasted me so many meals. And it would have been cheap. Like, I'm trying to think about the ingredients I bought. I bought the cheapest rice, but brown rice. But the cost of brown and white is the same in the shop, which is great because that, I think, is a new thing. And I didn't even use up the whole pack. So I had brown rice, then chopped tomatoes in a can, which is also under, like 50p, I think, each. And I used 1 can, and I used 1 can of, I think it was kidney beans, which is also like 50p. Obviously, I used onion and garlic, but even those are cheap and also obviously last longer, just like the rice. I used a sweet potato. That was probably the most expensive thing. And then spices, which again last a long time. I think that's all I used. And it literally made, and it would have taken me half an hour to make if I had a can opener. It wouldn't have taken more than half an hour, except that I roasted the sweet potato beforehand, but still. Oh, and I think I used some lemon, but like you don't have to. I think what I made ended up being my Wednesday supper, Thursday either lunch or supper, I think, I can't remember. Definitely Friday lunch, definitely Saturday night supper. I think Sunday lunch as well, and I think Monday lunch. I think it made 5 to 6 portions, 5 to 6 meals. So that's a dish I'll probably be making again. Now that I have a can opener, and I still have some cans, so because I ended up using less than I was going to. I was going to use some other beans as well. I was going to use cannellini beans, but I didn't want to try a third can. I do still have some food. I went to my grandma's, I think I mentioned, last night for supper, so I've got some pasta for lunch today. And then there is still some stuff in the freezer, so I kind of do want to use that up because I just feel I've had things in the freezer for a long time and I would like to empty it and sort of almost start again. But I don't really have any vegetables, so maybe I'll buy some vegetables today. We'll see. That's not the top priority. I want to do all the other things first. All the 5-minute tasks. But first, lunch. I will see you later. Hello, I've got no battery at all, but today's been a really good day. Had a lazy morning, watched the Australian Open semi-finals, women's, and then went for a run in absolute rain, like drenched. And then I did some YouTube-y stuff, and now I'm heading off to work. And I really like the way my hair is sitting. It's because of the rain, I think, and I pinned it back with my clips, which I haven't done in a while, but I like the way it looks. So heading to work now, and then should be home hopefully around 10:30, latest 11, I'm hoping, but I'm off tomorrow as well, so not too bad. So yeah, feeling good about today. Today's been, you know, lazy, but also productive, so that feels good. Hopefully I'll... Good morning. It's just before 9. I need to go to work in about half an hour, just under. And yesterday was such a lazy day. I slept in quite late again and just didn't do very much. Stayed in my pajamas all day, which was lovely, to be fair. But it was just a bit of a wasted day. But then after Shabbat, I did do a lot of editing, and I literally, in the last few days, I think I've cleared about 80 gigabytes off my computer, and I finally got lots of space again, which is great. And I've edited every single video for the end of New Year stuff and Taskmaster and everything, and that just feels so good. And even my vlogs are up to date. So I am very pleased with that, even though that then brought me into the late hours of the morning, or the early hours of the morning, I suppose. So I went to bed probably around 1 last night, and I set an alarm for around 8:30 this morning, which I thought I'd be fine with, but I woke up and I wasn't happy about it. But I also knew that I hadn't prepared anything for today. I am working an almost 11-hour shift, and I hadn't thought about food, I hadn't thought about what I would wear. I hadn't given any consideration to today, and I absolutely could have during the day yesterday. There's no reason why I didn't. So I did get out of bed quite quickly because I was like, I have to plan stuff. As I said, I've now got just under half an hour before I need to go, and all I need to do is have breakfast. Everything else is sorted. I'm wearing clothes, and I've got my lunch and other food, snacks sorted. I may not have quite enough for today, but we're just gonna try our best and hope that it will suffice. And for some reason, my phone didn't charge fully overnight, which makes no sense to me. I don't know why it didn't. I mean, it's on 85%, it's not the end of the world, but I want to watch the tennis, and I can only do that on my phone. As in, I want to watch the tennis at work. So hopefully it'll be charged enough. I'm leaving it charging until I leave, so hopefully it'll be all right by the time I go. And if nothing else, I'm bringing a charger with as well. Do you like my morning voice? I'm so enthusiastic, aren't I? But yeah, I'm not feeling at my best. Which is annoying because I've just had 3 days of rest, but I think that might be why. And also, I didn't sleep very well last night, and I very much presume that's down to having done absolutely nothing yesterday. Like, I've been sleeping a lot better recently, and I think in part that's because of having longer days and working more and being really tired when I get home, and also running more and exercising more, and I'm sure that also fatigues me. So having had a day where I just didn't do anything and did lie in bed all day, that probably made my body go, no, we're not doing it now. So that's annoying, but hopefully that means that by tonight I'll be tired, and then I've got an early start again tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday this week. So it would be good if I sleep well those 3 nights. We'll see how the rest of the week goes, we'll see. But for now I'm just gonna have some breakfast, and it's really warm as well in the flat. I'm gonna open a window, I think. It says it's only 21 degrees, but it feels warm. I am wearing my jumper, but I don't know why I did that, but it's warm. And I noticed that last night as well. That also didn't help me fall asleep because I get warm anyway when I sleep. So I'm not happy about warm rooms when I fall asleep. Again, not that I can complain because I know a lot of people struggle with not being able to put on the heating and things like that. So yeah, I don't want to sort of dismiss that and forget about that. All right. I will maybe see you when I get home from work. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I am knackered and I've got a bit of a headache, but that only started like as I came off the bus. I've worked a 12-hour shift today. I ended up staying even longer than I was meant to, and I've not had very much food. I have had a lot of liquid though, so I don't know why I've got this headache. And I've not even been staring at a screen that much. I mean, I did in the morning, but not so much after. And it was a mental day. Oh my goodness, it was so chaotic and busy and non-stop. So I'm gonna fry myself an egg and have it on toast. And then I think I'm gonna have an early night because I've got an early start the next few days and long days again. Not as long as today, but long days. And I just need to rest. I'm so tired. it's so annoying because I've had, you know, like 3 days where I could lie in, and I did, and I felt well rested. But today has just taken me out. Like, I feel like all of the progress I made in terms of, you know, feeling well rested is just wiped away. And this is day 1 of, I think, 4 of longish days. This is definitely the longest, but still, I'm very tired. I will probably not see you again until tomorrow, I imagine. Oh, what a day. Hello. I don't know if I spoke to you this morning or last night. I've lost track because I'm filming multiple videos simultaneously again. But suffice it to say, I was exhausted last night. I slept so well. I did go to bed later than I wanted. I went to bed, I think, around 11:30, and I really wanted to go to bed around 10:30, but I ended up chatting to a friend and stuff. And then I woke up at one point. It was very warm during the night. That was the main thing I remember from last night. But at one point I woke up in the middle of the night and I wasn't sure what time it was. I had a feeling it was still the middle of the night, but a part of me was like, it could be, you know, 6:30, 7-ish, and I have to get up. But from my bed, you're now on my microwave. From my bed, I can just about read the microwave, and I thought it said 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, that's amazing. I checked my phone and it was 3 in the morning, but I was still happy enough with that because it meant I could go back to sleep. And I did, and I woke up early. I woke up, I think, around 6:45 when I usually set my alarm for like 7:15. And I did think I could go back to sleep for another half hour, but I decided against it because I knew I hadn't prepared anything for the day. And I'm glad I did that. I'm glad with my timings this morning I was able to have quite a like easy morning. I was on my phone and stuff, you know, usually, well, not usually, but sometimes I don't have a chance to check my messages or anything until, you know, once the hour's into work. So that was good. And I feel a lot more sort of awake now. I was exhausted yesterday after that long shift. I am still intending to go to bed, you know, early enough. I think midnight. I think before midnight would be good because I do still have 2 more early starts like over the next 2 days. But I'm feeling good. In about half an hour, I'm tutoring or doing a trial session with a new kid for tutoring maths. And I have no idea what to do, what to expect or anything, because I asked the mum what they're doing in maths at the moment and do they have any worksheets or any homework that they want to go through, and the mum said no, basically. Didn't tell me what they're doing in maths at the moment, said they didn't have any worksheets and just if I could prepare something. How am I supposed to prepare anything when I don't know what the kid's level is? So, I mean, it's going to be and it's over Zoom as well, which is my fault because they'd told me an area, like a very vague area of where they were living, and I thought that would be easy enough for me to get to. And then they told me an actual postcode, and it was going to be it would take me over an hour to get there and then over an hour to get back. It just wouldn't be worth it. So I suggested we do Zoom instead, and that's going to be hard. I've never had to tutor over Zoom before. And I just don't know. I think it's going to be very experimental today and we'll see how it goes. We did both say it's a trial session, so if it's not something either side wants to pursue, that's fine, I don't mind. But I feel like I just need to meet the kid and see what they're doing and, you know, get an idea. So I've got that, and then all I really need to do otherwise is cook, basically. And I plan to make some more roast potatoes. And today in the reduce section, I feel like most of my meals, I'm so silly. I thought I needed to cook tonight, but actually I took something out of the freezer, but I put it in the fridge, so maybe I can keep it until like tomorrow lunch, maybe. That was really silly of me. But I was gonna say, I feel like my meals, whenever it's not something sort of leftovers, my meals are very much controlled by the reduce section in the shop. So today I found some tender stem broccoli. So I'm gonna soak that in some water so that it can get rid of any small, tiny bacteria that we don't want to have in our food. And then I need to set up a Zoom and get ready. In fact, I need to plug in my computer. All right, let's crack on with today, shall we? All right. I'm finished with the lesson. It was tough. It is so hard to do it over Zoom. I think I need to use my iPad next time because I couldn't even like write numbers properly. And I need headphones. I actually realized about 5 minutes before that I needed the connector for my Bluetooth headphones because they do have an MP3 function, which is great, but I just didn't have enough time to find them. So hopefully if there are future lessons, then I can do that. The kid is lovely. I would like to continue, but it was tough. And it was hard to explain, and I don't know if they got everything, and I don't know if the mum will want to continue. And if not, I really don't blame her. But I did very much enjoy it, even though it was so hard. And I did feel that by the end the kid knew more or was, more aware of what they were doing. It's such a shame that they're so much further than I thought. If they were, a little bit closer, then if they were a 45-minute journey, I probably would do it, but in person. But it's just too far. It's not worth my time. But it's such a shame because the kid is so lovely and I do feel I can help them. And I just think technology can suck sometimes. Well, I can't say that because without it, I wouldn't be doing anything. So I guess it's better than nothing. Anyway, we shall see. And my battery was dying right as it was finishing. It wasn't great. But anyway, luckily, I got through, so it's fine. I'm now going to prepare supper. So what I'm going to do is I was going to have rice and this dish for supper, this leftover dish from my grandma actually, but I think I'm going to take less portions of that. I was going to use it for 2 portions anyway. I was going to have it for lunch tomorrow as well, but I'm just going to take an even smaller portion tonight and also use up the rest of this, or use all of this broccoli. I also realised I actually have to use all of it because I'm away, I'm eating out tomorrow night. So I hope I'm hungry. I feel tired, but not exhausted. It went quicker than I was expecting, which is good. So yeah, we shall see what happens, but I'm gonna cook now and organise my food. Good fun. Good morning. I've had a very frazzled morning. I literally woke up 10 minutes ago and it's almost 8 o'clock and my alarms didn't go off, my phone wasn't on, and I should have seen it coming. It was struggling when I plugged it in last night. I don't think the charger is the problem. I think the head is the problem because it's been causing issues for a long while. But then I bought a new lead and it seemed to be better, but it's still not, unless it's my phone, but I don't think so because I've now plugged it into my computer and that's charging better. And when I plugged it in last night, luckily my phone is one of those that tells you how long until it's fully charged, and it said 24 hours and I thought that doesn't look great, but technically if I get a third of that, then I get 33%. That's enough to get me to work and then I can charge it more at work. But when I woke up, it did say 13%, 13, not 30, but it had automatically switched itself off. So the alarms didn't go off. Now, thank goodness for my body clock, because obviously I still woke up just about on time, but I have very much rushed. And I am going to be leaving for work and arriving to work later than I normally do, but I won't be late because I usually get there early. And I've done everything now. I'm just having breakfast and then I'm going to go, as I say, charging my phone in my computer for the moment just to get me enough to get to work, and then I can plug it in at work, and there it always seems to charge quite quickly, so that's not a problem. But I'm going to have to figure out what to do because I can't rely on a broken head. Anyway, I'm going to eat my cereal. I will talk to you when I get home from work, probably. Bye. I washed my hair last night, which was very nice because I was kind of bored. I didn't really know what to do and I knew that I wanted to wash my hair, and it was just lovely to have a nice warm shower because I was cold. I've just come in from work and it was a really good shift, but I am quite tired now. I actually don't think I was that tired when I left work. I think it was the journey home, and the journey home was fine. It wasn't that long and it wasn't that crazy, but I just feel very tired. I'm going to my grandma's tonight for supper, which is nice in the sense of having a meal cooked for me and all that, but also I'm not really in the mood to leave home again. But it will be nice. It will be nice. I do have a couple of emails and messages to go through because just life keeps happening, man. It's so busy. It's so much busier than I was expecting January to be. So I'm gonna go through that slowly but surely. I've got, I think I may have said already, an hour and a half until I need to go. So I'm gonna do that and see what else there is to do. I'm working a half day tomorrow and then tutoring after, and then I've got the evening free, and then I think I've got Thursday mostly off. I'm working Thursday evening, but it'll be nice to sleep in on Thursday. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Wow, I'm feeling really not just tired, but woozy. I feel like when you come off a ship or a plane or jet lagged. Whoa, this is so weird. I feel like I'm swaying. Whoa, I'm gonna have an apple. Bye. Hello, I'm very warm and I feel very frazzled. I don't know if I said that yesterday as well when I came in, but I feel very all over the place. I worked a half day today, which meant I worked 5.5 hours. But it does mean I've just come home and it's not even 3 yet. It's 2 minutes to 3. So that's quite nice. And I've been thinking about my lunch for most of the day. I'm gonna make egg fried rice. I love egg fried rice. I only first had it, I'd say maybe 2 years ago. And ever since then, anytime I'm part of a group that's ordering a Chinese, that's all I'll eat. I'll just have a bowl of egg fried rice. But I've never even considered making it myself. But a week or two ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I made this big dish with a big pot of rice to go along with it, and I used up all of the dish with most of the rice, and then I used up other leftovers with even more of the rice, but I still have, I would say, like 2 portions of rice left over. I did freeze it in between. It's not like I've just been eating 2-week-old rice. But I suddenly had the thought today, I was like, I want to use up the rice, but with what? And suddenly I thought, egg fried rice. They also have been out of stock of the cheaper eggs that are still not caged. I don't like that, not the caged, what are they called? The battery? I refuse to buy those. And then in the shop local to us, they have like a box of 10, which is supposedly mixed sizes, although I've never seen it mixed, which is I think £1.70, or, and that's 10 eggs, or you can get like a thing of 6 for £2.50, I think. And so I did buy that one last time. They were large eggs, to be fair, but I bought those because they didn't have the cheaper ones. And every time I've gone in to look for the cheaper ones, they've been out. And today, finally, it was absolutely fully stocked. I was so tempted to buy 2 lots. But they're good until the 18th of February, and I'm gonna be away for some time in February, which is something else I want to tell you guys about. So I thought, no, let's leave it for now. Let's see how long it takes us to get through the 10 eggs. So I've got my eggs, I've got my rice. I'm gonna add an onion because a lot of recipes suggested that. Yes, I did have to look up recipes for egg fried rice. That's the kind of cook I am. And instead of buying myself orange juice, because it is expensive to buy that, like, to have it constantly stocked in my house. This was on sale, not on sale, yeah, on sale, for £1, and it's a concentrate and vegan approved, which is nice. And I think this was like under £1 as well, which, by the way, I feel weird about sparkling water being £1. Like, I would expect it to be about 60p. It should not be £1. I know it's a big bottle, it's a huge bottle, but it was the cheapest. So yeah, that's gonna be my source of sort of other drinks and vitamin C maybe. I can't imagine there's very much vitamin C in this. Well, it's not advertising it, so that makes me think probably not. But yeah, this was a little treat for myself and I'm happy about it. Another thing I've realised today, as I got home at 3 o'clock, I've barely met the people in this block, but today I saw 3 different people when I came home, and it just makes me wonder what they do for a living. Like, why are all these people home at 3 o'clock on a weekday? Who knows? Right, I'm gonna start frying some stuff because I do need to go to tutoring in just over an hour, and it's probably gonna take me half an hour to sort this out. But once it's frying and sort of knows what it's doing and I know what I'm doing, I'll speak to you about February. Ooh. I am very intrigued and excited to try this. It doesn't look like it's gone as badly as I thought it had. The onions are a little bit almost burnt, which is a shame. This, by the way, is the new drink, which is nice. I could probably do a little bit less on the strength. I don't mind it, obviously, but I could do less. And here we go. Oh, I hope it tastes good. I hope it makes me happy. Oh, it's very hot. The rice isn't super crispy, which is a shame. I feel like I think I messed up. I think I should have added the rice in much earlier, but it's a good dish. I mean, I'm gonna be happy if there's egg involved, but I'm happy with this. Yay! Hello, I don't know if I've spoken to you today at all. I had a bit of a lie-in this morning, not like huge, but a little, which was nice. And then I edited a running video, and then I went for a run, which was fantastic, but you will find out more about that, or you probably have already found out about that in my running videos. And then I came back, made lunch, showered obviously first, and honestly have just been chilling. I showered after my run and I couldn't decide what I wanted to wear yet. I couldn't be bothered to get dressed, so I'm just in my dressing gown. I've got to go to work in about 2 hours and I'm just not feeling super motivated. I actually think it's going to be a great night at work, but I can't say I'm feeling anything. It was quite a long run I did today, so maybe that's sort of zonked me out a little bit in terms of energy. And also I think having that time now, so often when I run, I need to then rush off to work, and so I'm forced to like do stuff and be productive, whereas now I'm like, meh. So we shall see. But I'm gonna get dressed at some point. I've also got my mezuzah has finally arrived. That was my Hanukkah gift from my parents, so I need to open that and see if I can put it up, which is very exciting. I don't sound very excited, but I am. And yeah, just try and use this time for something. All right, Bye. Oh, I've also just realised, I don't know if I ever told you. I told you yesterday I was alluding to something and then I never told you what it was that I was very excited about. I've booked my tickets for Holland. So I'm going for 4 days and the times are great. And that's very much thanks to my parents who are willing to cover the extra costs instead of sort of flying super early in the morning and also missing a lot of the last day. And I'm going to get to see my grandparents and my father and I'm going to get to go to Holland finally. Like almost 18 months, well 15 months since I've last been, and it just feels too long. It feels too long. I miss Holland, I love Holland. Oh, I just can't wait. But it is really interesting. Obviously I'm super excited to see my grandparents and my father, but it doesn't feel like it's been as hard. And I don't know if that's because it's less long than usual. Usually I think it's about 6 months and this time it's like 3, maybe 4. I last saw him mid-November and I'll be seeing him mid-February. December, January. Yeah, it's only 3 months. So is it because of that? Or is it because I've just been crazy busy and not had time to like miss them? And obviously I do. I miss them all the time and in my day-to-day life and just like regular being. But it's not been as like desperate, I guess. I can't word it. If you know the feeling, you know what I'm talking about, but I can't quite convey it. I am super excited to be seeing him and my grandparents. So excited. But yeah, I think I've just not even had time to like think about it. More than anything, honestly, I'm just super excited to finally be going back to Holland. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I'll see you later, baby. Hello, I've just come back from work and I stopped by the shops on my way home because I have a plan for tonight. I think I may have mentioned that already, although maybe it was in my eating video, which you may not have seen yet. But I have a plan. But I got there about half an hour before it closed and I did manage to get one really good deal, which I'm very happy about and will share with you in a second. But I kind of feel like they could do better on the reduced, especially like the bread and pastry section. Even half an hour before close, it's only at 50%. And that's just not enticing enough to me. And it's a shame because I know that food is going to go to waste then. But I just don't feel I can justify it. Whereas I once went to a shop, was it like a Morrison's or something? I can't remember what it was, but to be fair, I think I went in like quarter of an hour before close, but it was everything that had been reduced that day had been reduced by 90%, so you were only paying 10% of the price. Now let me tell you, that would be tempting. I think they told us that they only did it in the last hour, but even if they only do it in the last half hour, or in the last half hour, whatever, I just feel like it'll tempt me more. I have a feeling that there was also a Tesco near where I worked when I was in Ireland, and I think they also did big reductions, definitely more than 50% in the last sort of hour or so. Come on, Sainsbury's, get with it. But the steal that I did get, another corn one, but this is one I can freeze, so even better. Sausage rolls. It's basically an at-home Greggs, and it was down from £3.10 to 80p. Which I'm quite happy with. So I think I might have one of these tonight and then freeze the other 2. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm also gonna have, I think, bread with butter and Marmite. I've been thinking about that for the last few hours. So I think I'm gonna have that. And then I've got a fun dessert, hopefully. I'm gonna pop one of these in the oven and probably speak to you later once I start on my dessert. Hello. Okay, so my plan for dessert. The supper was nice. The corn pastry was nice. It wasn't the most amazing thing I've ever had, but it was nice. But my plan for dessert is to make rice pudding because I was thinking I still have some leftover rice and it needs to be used up. And I've done everything I could think of and I didn't want to go out and buy more stuff for tonight or make a whole meal to go with the rice. So I decided to look up what to do with leftover rice, and as I was looking that up, I remembered about rice pudding, or maybe it was a different thing that happened. I was watching a video of someone sort of saying what I eat in a week, which is kind of ironic now that I think about it, because I'm filming the same thing. And they made these, what now turns out to be coconut and raspberry rolls, but I thought it was rice. And so I started thinking about like, what can I use the rice for? And so I remembered rice pudding and I looked through lots of different websites because I just wanted simple, plain, nice, easy, using leftover rice. And in the end, I found one that doesn't use leftover rice, but it seems like a pretty straightforward recipe and I have all the ingredients at home. I just went to buy some more milk, but aside from that, like I do have everything. But the recipe, from what I could see, you know, it's one of those where there's like 700 subsections before you get to the actual recipe. And near the top, it seemed to have all the ingredients. It seemed to say rice, some rice, 2 cups of milk, X amount of sugar, X amount of vanilla extract, whatever. And I was like, why does it not tell me how much rice I'm supposed to be using? Anyway, eventually I scrolled down and found that there was an actual recipe with amounts. And I was quite happy about that. And it's even got the option of like 1 times, 2 times, 4 times, which is great. And I was like, I will just work out how much this is in cups and then do whichever recipe is closest to being right. But I've just realized as I was looking at it again, they use uncooked rice. So they've said sort of start with 3/4 cups of rice, but that's gonna grow once it's cooked. So I've now Googled how much is 1 cup of rice when it's like uncooked, when it's cooked, and they've said 1 to every 3. So I need to allow 3 times 3/4 for the one-time portion. So I'm gonna measure this and see how we do now. I don't have loads of battery, although I just remembered I do have spare batteries, so we should be all right. Let me get all my measuring things. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to bake and make desserts for so long, but I don't have a sieve. That's the word. I kept saying colander, sieve. I'm borrowing one from a friend, I think next week or later this week even, but it's been really annoying not being able to bake. So at least I've got something I can make that's desserty, and hopefully it turns out all right. I've never made rice pudding before. Right, let me measure this. Okay, I seem to have about 1.25, but I think I'm still just gonna stick with the recipe as it is and hope for the best. Who knows? I've also realized just now as I was doing that this is basmati rice and the recipe asks for white rice. Look, we're just gonna do our best and see what happens. But that is the rice all measured and the measuring cup's finally used. Yay! Okay, we've transferred over to my phone so I don't have to keep going back and forth to the computer. I need to combine the rice, 1.5 cups of milk, and then whatever the sugar and salt is all together onto a medium heat and stirring often for about 15 minutes. Let us measure everything and go for it. Yay! Hello. It doesn't look the most beautiful, but I think it will taste good. It smells sweet, so that's good. It took so much longer than it should have, and I'm presuming that's because of the rice I used, but it's annoying. Like, it's almost midnight. I'm gonna start by trying it plain and see if I enjoy it, but I do have some cinnamon and some maple syrup here if I decide to, you know, flourish it up. I'm never gonna finish this in one go, but that's fine. We can probably fridge it and then reheat it tomorrow, I imagine. It's a very weird consistency, but I think it's meant to be, I think. And I'll link the recipe down below, of course. It's quite nice. It's very sweet, but like in a good way. Not too sweet. I think I probably needed to let it cook a little bit more, or maybe have a little bit less butter. I don't know, it's just a little bit too, I don't want to say liquidy because it's not, but like it's more liquid than jelly or solid, and I think I'd prefer it to be a bit firmer. But it is very tasty, and I think I'm gonna just eat this as it is for now, and then maybe tomorrow I'll add some cinnamon if I feel like it. Yay!